Okay, this is my son's Craftsman 24-inch snowblower. He's having a problem with it surging or hunting, idle going up, down. It's basically starving for fuel. You put it on choke, it'll run rich, but it'll run. You take off the choke, and it goes up and down and up and down. So we took it apart, we washed the carburetor, we cleaned it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and it turned out that that wasn't it. Sometimes the cleaner don't get it. We put it all back together, it still was doing the surging. With a little bit of research, I was checking out some of the things about this carburetor, and it has the California emissions on it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at possibly doing a little bit of modification to that jet so that we can take care of that problem. So here we go. Let's finish taking this apart. I've got the cover off it already. These are kind of the hassle with these covers on here. Got to remove some of these components. And this should come right off. Just like that. Kill switch wires, and down here is the carburetor. And we're not going to get into this carburetor again. We've been through it. We did it. Sometimes you got to keep trying until you figure out what's going on. So what I'm going to do is right here on the top, you can see this. I'm going to bring it closer. You can see that black where my finger is pointing at, right there. And that's where we're heading for. We're going to remove this screw with a Torx bit. We're going to pull this jet out, and I'll show you what we're going to do from there. And that is if I can find my Torx bit. There we go. There we go. So I use this bit right here. Sticks right in. And we just twist it out. They're plastic threads, so be careful not to muck up your threads. Just like that. That's what it looks like. That's the screw that sits on the top of it. Now we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and we're going to prop this up. There's that gasket trying to escape again. Get back on. Okay, so here it is, right here. Okay? It's got a little hole going through, and it's got a hole going through this center. And through the center, you'll see a little copper, little ring there, and that's the restriction that's restricting the fuel going through here. And I don't know why, but I believe after a while, that's restricting the fuel. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove that copper piece right there, and we're going to try it and see if that takes care of it. Okay, so it actually came out pretty good. I'll show you what it looks like right there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it. I don't know if the camera's gonna focus on it, but it's just a little brass, and it sits right in the center of that. And what I did is I took this pick and I went up underneath here and I forced it up. Now I've seen in other places where they've drilled these out, and that seems a little permanent to me. And I don't know if this is gonna work. So I'm just gonna remove it right now. Again, here's the little guy on the tip of this. I don't think the camera's gonna focus on it. Let me see. Right there. So we're gonna remove that. We're gonna put this back in there. There we go. It just sits in there. You push it right down, you push it in with your finger. Then we take that plastic screw again. And the plastic screw, that adjusts the idle. I'm right next to a busy road, so pardon the noise. It's Friday, everybody's coming home from work, and if you take a look, you can see I got my lawnmowers out there by the road. Get some road sales, and then I got a few things that I'm working on right now. Okay, so we put the screw back in there. And I remember not exactly, but approximately where it was before. I may need to do some more adjustments. But the big bear now is putting all this stuff back together. They don't give you a lot of room. They get it all stuffed in there. So this won't go on as easy as it came off. But we'll make it work. That's still a little warm from me trying to run it. And I could have showed you the video of the surgeon, but I think we all know what that is, that dreadful noise. No, I've sold a few mowers, and I have a lot of people ask, "Oh, you work on mowers? You're a small engine mechanic?" No, I'm not a small engine mechanic. I just figure things out. I'm just like anybody else who gets tired of paying somebody to fix stuff, and I enjoy it. To me, it's calming. When things go right, it's common. Right now, it ain't going right. Okay, what's going on? Fighting? Go get it. Got my gasket fell off, so we gotta put that back down. Trying to hold about 6 things with 2 hands. Okay, gasket, go back on. Stop being difficult. I want to be careful I don't split that gasket, so teaches me to keep my cool. Okay. everything's got to line up. All these little handles, these rods that work the choke, work the throttle, work the choke, all that has to line up. And it's got to go into its own little hole. So you got to line up several things at once. I feel like I'm playing Jenga. You don't want to go in. Something's not working. Sometimes you gotta take things back off. Take a look. What's going on? What are we doing? So let's put this carburetor back in. Keeps wanting to slide out. And you see how it, you push it in, it slides out. Okay. Let's attempt it again. A lot of people like to edit this stuff out, but this is reality. This is what you deal with. Not everything goes easy, not everything's simple. Some things fight you every step of the way. Why should this be any different? Okay, so look at there. You know what? I'm going to put these nuts on here. So it don't pop off. And I might just have to do all of this again if it doesn't correct the problem. You know? Not knowing, not having all the experience, not being a trained mechanic, sometimes you have to learn. Sometimes you learn the hard way. That's the chances you take. But sometimes you figure it out. And that's what I do it for. That's what I like. I like figuring it out. I don't like how that sits up next to that shield. Like it. Oh, maybe. Because that goes through here. Now, it's just a pain in the butt, all, and no matter how you look at it. Okay, so this goes, how does this go? I want to say this way. Like I say, there's just no room at all. No room. I was starting to think maybe I had to take that monster off again. I would not be happy. But you do what you gotta do. Okay. Let's try these. Put these in there. this is that little button you gotta prime. Pushes gas into the carburetor. Primes it like you would, you know, if you find you gotta use starter's fluid to start something, sometimes it's just your prime. Sometimes your prime isn't working, it came unplugged. You know, it's just a little, you know, you push air, it sucks air in, and you push the air and it forces the fuel into the cylinder. Okay, now this is the kill switch. We want to be able to turn it off. There. And if you think my videos are too long and you need an editing, please step up and be my editor, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so we got this hooked up, got this hooked up. Let's put our knobs back on. Get that ready. See if it's gonna be right or it's gonna be wrong. Okay, so that's choke. This is the throttle knob. Boy, there's just no room. And I got 3 more of these things to work on. Okay. Got this. Well, I think that's enough for us to at least, you know, give it a try. So let's do that. I'll move this angle so you can see. I'm getting old, so we're going to use the electric. This has got an electric starter on it. We'll pump it a couple times so you can't see. Let me move this up. Okay, plug this in. Pump it up a couple times. I believe that's stroke down. Okay, well that seems to do it. I'm going to put the rest of the covers back on it, maybe give it a wipe down, and call my son and tell him to come pick up his snowblower. Alright, well thank you very much for tuning in.